What up, YouTube? It's your girl Keish, and on this special episode, we are heading to Ghana for Christmas. So my husband NAB and I, we got in a plane, left China, came all the way to Ghana to spend some time with our family and our friends. So we want to take you through a couple of days of fun, holiday cheer, and showing my friends from New York around the country and the city that I love so much. So keep it locked. You're definitely going to see me, and you're definitely going to see NAB, and hopefully some interesting things. So keep it locked. Hello, America. So today, my sister and I, we made some pomegranate soup, right? So it's bubbling, right? It's not really bubbling, but it's about to start bubbling, so it's gonna bubble. And then the fellas, not us, they are going to pound the fufu. And let me show y'all. There's plantain. No, sorry, I'm a Jamaican. We have plantain and cassava in there, and they're gonna mash it. So when that happens, I'll call you. All right. So our first meal of the day is going to be light soup with fufu. And so we're going to have two different types of fufu blended into one. So what's happening now in the mortar is cassava is being pounded. Then there's going to be some plantain that is pounded. And then you will see, as the process is going, the plantain and the cassava will be mashed together. Now, as the process is going on, you'll notice that water is constantly being put into the mortar, so that way it can continue to be smooth until it has that dough-like texture. And this is what we're seeing right here. Nana is pounding it, and girl Nana is moving it around so it doesn't stick, and adding water so that way the texture will remain the same. And this is fufu. It almost looks like pizza dough, doesn't it? But it doesn't taste like that. How was that?
Yeah, so it's been a very long time, so my palms are burning.
Let's hold it on, let's see. Ooh, it's like blisters.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's good. It's a form of, say exercise, workouts, and,
Yeah, yo.
That's it.
That's it. Oh, snap. Oh, shoot.
Apparently soon I'll be starting my workout, so that's the preliminaries. Right?
That's a warm-up.
It's a warm-up.
So you can be looking like Dave, right? Looking like Dave.
So Dave, watch out for me, right?
Coming through.
Yeah.
So NAB really put some work in pounding that fufu. And I guess hard work does pay off, because he was enjoying his soup and fufu. Now, here was something that was my favorite, the Wache Summit, with my best friend from high school and my homeboy, Lucian. They both came out from DC and New York, and we just had a really, really great time. Check it out.
Well, they bring me joy and blessings. Well, I gotta love you, and I can't wait to say after but before we walk down the aisle, I guess it's time to let you know that Merry Christmas.
See, Okada, they won't go and work.
Christmas in the crowd.
See, look in here too.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going round again. Be quiet and so much. Bring your kids here.
Mm-hmm. We're going around, don't interfere.
Jesus, I say, my soul, and you put my soul in the presence.
y'all. So gonna talk about Afrochella for a bit. So my friends and I, we went to Afrochella and it was dope. If you like that artistic vibe, there was so many beautiful murals, things and places that you can take photos with. People who were doing all types of fashion types of stuff, Afrofuturism, anything that you could think of dealing with black people, past, present, and future, was definitely showed up at Afrochella. I would recommend bringing one of those barbecue chairs, those, the ones that go in the little bag that you can just pop open, because there are no places to sit unless you don't mind sitting on the grass. We left kind of early because, one, we were tired, and we were just like, well, man, when the concert gonna start? I think the concert should go around the same time. But anyway, a lot of beautiful black people. It was great. And I got to see my fraternity brother from Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, Errol. So I was like, that's crazy. I was walking out the exit and he was in front of me and I was like, wait, Errol, is that you? So that was wonderful to see him. One of the hardest thing about being an expat and living away from your peoples is that you really miss them. And so it was really great for us to come and get together with the family and just spend time with them, because we haven't seen them in a while. Nana hasn't really. But we had a great time, and this is his grandmother. We bought her a couple of things, some bags, some watches, and so forth. And I think grandma was a bit hyped. She was excited. So she was really, really doing her thing. Now, this is Nana's dad, and we went over to spend some time with him as well. And it's amazing to see how when he was smaller, and you look at photos, how tall and big his father is compared to now that he's a grown man and, now he's bigger. And this is him and his brother and his dad. This is the year of the return, so we wanted to share a little bit of what is happening during this year of return with you, for those of you who couldn't make it. And so I'll be posting videos of just different things, but take a look. This is the castle, the dungeon. It is a very interesting place, and like I said, I'll take more videos, so stay tuned.
My name is Tony, and I'm going to be your tour. It is very imperative for every one of us to note that this place is not a place to educate people. This is a place to educate people, and again, a place to transform people positively. Before we begin the tour, I'm going to give you a very brief introduction. Europeans built 3 slave dungeons along the coast of Ghana, and this is one of the slave dungeons. We call this slave dungeon Cape Coast Slave Dungeon. It was built in 1665 by the English Martin Massimo. This slave dungeon is 350 years old. There is one slave dungeon in Accra we call Kusu Slave Dungeon. The Danish built that in 1661 or 1662. And the oldest of them all, which is not too far away from here, is called Elmina Slave Dungeon.
You can't see me, it's kind of dark, but this is the inside of the male dungeon. They would have up to about maybe 200 men at a time in here, but it's not a really big room, and you see the ventilation. There's only 3 small squares that they were allowed air. And we have some of the wreaths that were left by different people, different organizations, different countries to offer, I don't even know what to say, but to leave something there for those who were taken and to honor them. So this is that particular room. Over there in that corner, that's where they used to house the blind and the sick until they died, and then they were discarded into the sea.
Okay.
Strategically, psychologically, and intentionally. I told you there were as many as 1,000 men in the male slave dungeons.
All the men who did fight back for their freedom and right were brought here. The average number of the enslaved African men who were brought here was between 15 and 35. There used to be 3 doors right there. First door, the middle door, and the third door. The British soldiers made sure all the 3 doors were closed. The men were here without food, air, light, and water. They were here until they were all dead.
We're at, that's the door of no return, and on the other side you have the door of return. So I'll take it out and so that you can see what's out there and then come back in. So here is the door of return, and this is the other side. So when they would take the people from their various villages, they would come out and make them walk all the way out there, so that way they would go on the boats and be taken to the different parts of the Americas and other locations. But you can see here the door of return, and I'll go inside so you can see the door of no return. And it's kind of dark, but there it is, right there. And so let's keep going.
Right here, before they walk through. Now, the moment the Africans walked through again, the first thing they saw was the Atlantic Ocean, a very big ocean. The very big slave ships that transported all of them to the Americas were not closer to the slave dungeon. They were about 200 meters away from here. So the British soldiers forced them onto smaller boats and transported them to the bigger ones. And the journey began. The journey took them 4 months or more. Many slave Africans died. Many women got pregnant because the British soldiers, the lawyers, the doctors kept sexually abusing them. The African men tried to fight back for their freedom and rights. However, all the African men who did fight back were being killed by the British soldiers. At the moment about 3 or 4 of them were dead, every single one of them became submissive. My wonderful family. Today, we are going to walk through a door our ancestors walked through and they never again came back. However, I assure you that you are going to return. Please come. For some of the roles their ancestors played in the transatlantic slave trade. And today, we are encouraging our brothers and sisters to come back to their roots. And this is the place, Cape Coast, Ghana, West Africa. That is why, when you walk through the door of return, look to the right, there is a flag that states Akwaba. And Akwaba means you are firmly welcome. Please come.
We're on the top. We're out of the dungeons and we're come to where the British, where they lived in their, what they call the castle portion. And as you can see, it's going to be really unfair to see where they kept the Africans and where they slept and where they were living and had church and so forth. So let's go and see windows and how breezy it is here. Let's find a window. Let's see. Let's see this window.
Alright, so this chamber is the governor's living room.
Elmina Castle, and I've actually never been here before, so I'm going to take you along with me and see what we discover and what we learn about Elmina Castle.
Time the Portuguese arrived. At the time, they came with two reasons: to trade and to spread the gospel. Now, talking about trade, the system of trade was a barter system, exchanging goods for goods. So Portuguese came here with European goods to exchange gold, spices, and then ivories. But the major commodity Portuguese wanted at the time was gold. And the rate at which the locals were exchanging their gold with them gave the Portuguese the impression that the land was full of gold. So Portuguese called this place Amina or Damina. This word in the Portuguese language simply means the mine. And so this word that couldn't be pronounced properly was corrupted to today's word Elmina. We also have another name, Edina, which is also a corrupted word from the Portuguese. Aldea, which also means village in the Portuguese language. So it tells us that Elmina, Edina are two corrupted words. And if this is the case, then what was the name of the village before the Portuguese came? Because this village exists.
That's all the shot them a shoot.
New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Is it time?